Hello everyone and welcome to a very special top 10 video. I will be going over the top 10 teams in Cologne today. This video is basically who I think has the best chance at winning Cologne, and I will give there are 16 teams at Cologne, and I'm giving you 10 teams who I think have the best chance at winning the whole thing. This is the first of 3 videos today. Hopefully they'll all be uploaded today. If not, one of them might be uploaded tomorrow. But anyways, yeah, so I'm uploading this top 10 video, which is going over the best teams at Cologne. Next, I will be uploading a fantasy league video, which is CSGO Dream Team, which will be going over the best players at Cologne. And then, of course, I will come up with my normal predictions for the day. But anyways, let's get right into my top 10 teams. So first off, number 10, we have Titan. Obviously, I've talked about this many times, but Envious sent over Shocks and Smiths to Titan, and Titan had to give up Kenny S and Apex, their 2 best players. And so now Envious has both Kenny S and Apex, and Titan picked up Shocks and Smiths. So Smiths is now, I guess you could say, the primary opper, even though this team, Titan, doesn't really have a primary opper, as most of them will just pick up the op every now and then. But if there is a dedicated opper, I guess you could say that it is Smiths. So anyways, this team does not have much of a chance of winning Cologne. That's why they're my number 10. I think that they could pull a couple upsets here and there, but in all honesty, they'll be lucky to make it out of the group stages. They have a very, very tough group, and I just don't know if they can make it out of their group. I think that they could make it to the quarterfinals if they play well, and then, maybe pull a couple upsets, find themselves in a semi. But, in all honesty, there isn't much chance of that happening. And I think that this team will get better. They are still new playing with each other. They played really well at the ESL qualifiers for Europe. But, of course, all those teams are not nearly at the level of the teams here at Cologne. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I think Shocks will have to step up his game. I think he is probably the best player on their team right now, and he's going to have to carry them if they want any chance of winning anything, really. Then we have Kingwin. Kingwin is kind of my dark horse at this tournament. I will be going over my dark horses a little later, but Kingwin, in all honesty, is kind of my dark horse. I think Kingwin has the best chance of all the teams here who are not, other than Fnatic and Navi and TSM and all these top tier teams. If there's any lower team that has a really good chance of winning it, I'd say it's either Kingwin or Cloud9. I will get into NiP later, but for now I'm going to not talk about NiP, and I'm just going to talk about Kingwin. So of all these teams, I think Kingwin has the best chance of kind of shocking the world, basically, and winning everything. They have a very stacked roster. They have, Michael, Rain, Fox, Scream, and I'm forgetting the 5th player. But Scream is a fantastic player. He used to play for Titan. He got dropped because of various reasons. It's kind of unofficial, but they say that he wasn't good enough. I don't know. He's a pretty damn good player. Michael got dropped for an NIP. Pretty similar situation. It's kind of unofficial as to why he got dropped. There are rumors of conflicts between Michael and Get Right, but like I said, it's unofficial, so I'm not gonna say why he got dropped. Then we have Rain, who came from LGB, and Fox, who I think came from Kick, and I'm forgetting who the 5th player is, but it doesn't matter. This is a very good team, and these guys really like playing with each other. Now, they had a coach set who was, who's their coach? His name is slipping, but basically he got backbanned, or one of his accounts got backbanned, and it was linked to him or something, so he got banned from ESL basically, and Kingwin dropped him. So now they have a new coach who's the former Nylum coach. After Nylum dropped the team, he decided to come to Kingwin and coach, and they don't have an in-game leader per se. Their in-game leader is the coach, and that's kind of what they're doing different, and they're kind of testing it out, and who knows, if it works, maybe other teams will adopt that strategy. But I think this team, like I said before, has very talented players. I mean, Michael, DreamHack Winter last year was probably one of the best players in the world. They ended up losing to Envious in the final, but he was a fantastic player. Him and Get Right were pretty much carrying the team all the way to the finals. And like I said, he did get dropped from NIP, but I think that he is a very, very good player, and I think that I don't know if this team will be quite ready for Cologne, but maybe at this year's DreamHack Winter, I think they might be a force to be reckoned with. But anyways, don't be surprised if they pull off some upsets and maybe find themselves in a final. Then we have Mousesports. Mousesports is one of those kind of consistent teams. I don't think they have a great chance at winning the tournament, but they are consistently strong. I think they're a pretty consistent top 8 team in that they aren't very likely to beat, say, Fnatic or Navi or TSM. Like, it's not that likely that they will beat those teams, but they are a very strong and consistent team, so if they play teams like Titan or King1 or any lower teams, or even maybe Virtus Pro and NIP, they have a very good chance of beating them because they are very good at beating teams at their level. So I think that we will see them enter the quarterfinals. From there, I think it will be tough. Depends on who they play, who they get matched up against in all the shuffling that will go on with their teams, and we'll just have to see what happens. But Mousesports, I don't think has a very strong chance at winning this. But hey, if Nex and Chris J are playing as good as they have been lately, I think Chris J needs to step up his game a little bit, and Gobi is calling really well. I think they have a chance of, maybe pulling an upset and winning the whole thing, or maybe just find themselves in the final. I think it definitely could happen. I don't think it will, but there is a good chance. Then we have the Ninjas in Pajamas. So this is a tough one for me because NIP obviously has not been performing well recently. It's no secret, right? But you can't deny the fact that in the past year, first of all, they are the defending champions at Cologne, okay? That's first. They did win last year's Cologne. They went to the finals against Fnatic and beat them 2-1 in a best of 3. They also lost in the finals of DreamHack Winter, which basically they went to back-to-back finals in majors, so you can't take that away from this team. And yes, they don't have Michaelele or Flaren anymore, but they still have Get Right, who in my opinion, Get Right is one of the top 5, or in my opinion, I think Get Right is probably one of the best players of all time in CSGO. Yes, he is not one of the best players in the world right now, not even close to Olaf Meister or Device or any of those other players, but he has been consistently one of the top 5 players in the world for 7 or 8 years now, which is something that is very difficult to do. So the fact that they have a player like that on their team is only going to help them. And they also have Forrest and Freiburg, and they have very experienced teams. This team has been to everything. They've won it all, done it all. They have the most accolades out of any team in Counter-Strike, going back to 1.6 and Source. They have played this game like crazy, and they have way more experience than any other team. So I think the experience factor heavily favors them, and the fact that if they just flip that switch and they actually perform like they used to, then there's no reason that they shouldn't have a chance at winning this tournament. Now, with that said, I don't think they will, but I had to put them in here. I had to, because they are just such a strong team. Then we have Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro, their last major victory was at Katowice. Some people say Katowice, but I think the proper way you say it is Katowice. They won Katowice 2014. They won Gfinity Summer 2014. This year, they haven't done too much. They just won CEVO Season 7 LAN against Navi in the finals, but in all honesty, they haven't done too much this year. Now, Neo does look better. He has been improving. For those of you who don't know, he was one of the best players in the world at one point. Right now, I don't think he is. He's probably a top 5 player in the world, but overall, I don't think he is one of the best players in the world. So, it's tough to put this team in the top 5. I think them and Cloud9 are on a pretty equal level in terms of having a chance to win it, but that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, if Neil can step up his game, Taz plays well, Pasha plays well, they definitely can go far in this tournament, but I just don't see them winning it in the condition that they're in now. Then we have Cloud9, who's kind of my other dark horse in this tournament. I think Cloud9 is a very, very good team. Obviously, they've been to the finals of, what is it, 3 of their last 4 lands, which is pretty impressive. They haven't actually won anything, which is really disappointing, which kind of says that it's not extremely likely that they will be winning Cologne. But there definitely is a chance, right? I mean, if Shroud is on top of his game, which he normally is, he's very consistent. I think Shroud is one of the best players in the world. He's definitely the best player outside of Europe, in my opinion. But anyways, besides Shroud, they also have Skadoodle, who I think is between him, Guardian, and JW. I think he's one of the top 3 oppers in the world. I mean, Kenny S is on his way back, right? But right now, I think Skadoodle is one of the best players. I mean, best oppers in the world. Then we have Nothing. If Nothing can step up his game, which he has been recently, and he is one of the main reasons for their success. If Nothing can play well and get those frags that in those key moments like he's famous for, they will be very strong. And then they need Freakazoid to be entry fragging like crazy. That's his job. He's the entry fragger, and when he goes off, this team wins games. But then also, in addition, they have Sean Gares, who I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that he's the best in-game leader in the world right now. When he gets a chance to prepare like for a tournament like this, they win games. And I think their first matchup against Mouse Sports, they will win. Yes, Mouse Sports beat them in a best of 3 at Sevo Lin, but in this big stage, Cloud9 going up against Mouse Sports with Sean Gare's preparation, there's no way they lose to Mouse Sports. And I think that he will be anti-stratting the living shit out of every team at this tournament. Cloud9 is very good at playing Envious, very good against Navi, and very good against Fnatic. The only weakness that they have is against Fnatic and Virtus.pro. If they don't end up facing against TSM and Virtus.pro. If they don't end up facing Virtus.pro or TSM, they definitely have a chance at winning this tournament. Those are the only 2 teams that are actually very good at beating them. But they've beaten Fnatic, they've proven that they can before, they've beaten Navi, and they've beaten Envious. And they're very good at beating those teams who are all ranked higher than them. And I think they definitely have a chance at winning the whole thing. Then we have Envious. Guys, I think Envious might win this, honestly. I have Envious at number 4 because they are a new team and we haven't really seen what they're capable of yet. Yes, they won Gamescom, but the only team there that was really competition for them was TSM. And TSM was playing not to lose instead of playing to win. They didn't want to show off any strats, and they really didn't even want to play that hard and give away anything that would kind of show how they play going into Cologne. So I think just because of that, I have Envious at 4th, but honestly, my projected final for this is Envious versus Fnatic. I think Envious and Fnatic are the 2 best teams going into this tournament. Envious is a fantastic team. If you look at pure skill, I think Envious has the most raw talent out of any team. Yes, more than Fnatic, more than TSM, because the difference between Envious and TSM, Envious has a strong opper. TSM does not have a dedicated opper. You might say Cajun B, but I don't think he is, because sometimes you see Device hopping, sometimes you see Kerrigan, sometimes you see Dupree. They throw that thing around like it's nothing. And Envious has Kenny S, who has been showing that he is back, and I think he is back, and we will see how he performs at this tournament. But I think if Kenny S plays like the old Kenny S, plays like Mr. Carry S, then Apex has been on top of his game. He went off at Gamescom. Then we have Happy, who's another fantastic IGN. In addition, IGL, who in addition is being has been very, very strong lately in terms of his play. We also have Kiyoshima, who is a very consistent player. This team is so stacked, and I think in terms of raw talent, this is the best team in the world right now. Then we have Navi. I don't know if Navi will win this. Navi is, I think, the most consistent team in the world. They are not the best team in the world, but they are the most consistent team in the world. They are always in the top 5. Always, always, always. They're not like teams, for example, Envious or Virtus.pro or NiP, who are sometimes one of the best teams in the world, or sometimes, 6, 7, 4, 5, whatever. I think Navi has been the 3rd best team in the world pretty much all year long. At least for the last 4 or 5 months, I think Navi has been the 3rd best team in the world. But I just don't see them winning this, honestly, because if you put Navi against Envious, I think Envious wins. You put Navi against Virtus Pro, I think Virtus Pro might win. Put them against Cloud9, I think Cloud9 might win. Against Fnatic, I think Fnatic might win. So I think you put them against any team, they might win. But they are such a consistent and strong team that if maybe, like I said, Kingwin or maybe a lower tier team kind of pulls an upset and they end up playing someone weaker in a final, that I think Navi has a very good chance of winning it. Then we have TSM. I think overall TSM is the best team in the world, but recently they just haven't been playing too well, and I just don't have that confidence in them that they can win this tournament. I definitely think they will be a semifinals team and probably a finals team. I mean, we'll have to see what happens, but it's tough to tell right now. But I think TSM is the second best team going into this tournament behind Fnatic, but I don't know if they will win it. I don't see them winning it, in my opinion, just being honest. Then Fnatic, obviously, I don't think there's much explanation to be made here. They're the best team in the world right now. They have the best player in the world. They have one of the best operas in the world. They're just probably the best team in the world right now. I think their in-game leader is not very strong. No offense to him, he's a great in-game leader, but compared to other teams like Cloud9, Envious, TSM, Mouse Sports, all these other teams, I don't think that their in-game leader is too strong. His name's Pronax. I think he's their biggest weak link. He is still a good player, but in-game leader-wise, he's very conservative, which I guess is okay for a team as good as they are, but I just think he's going to need to bring that little something special if they want a chance at winning this. Other than that, I think Fnatic definitely is the strongest team at this tournament and definitely has the best chance at winning it. They did win the last major, and they're probably still the best team in the world, so there's not much to say there. But yeah, I think potential finals. Obviously, it depends on who we see, but I think the two teams with the highest chances of winning this tournament are Fnatic and Envious. And if we see a Fnatic Envious final, I would not be surprised, and that's kind of my predictions. Now, they might end up meeting in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, I don't know, but I think those are the two teams that have the strongest chance of winning it. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. I put a lot of work and research into making this video and giving you guys all this information. And if you made it all the way through this video, how long is it right now? 17 minutes, Jesus. Okay, if you made it all the way through this, go ahead, leave a like, first of all, because you had to like the video, right? But comment, let's see, what should you comment? Let's see, comment banana. No, comment I like bananas. That's what you need to comment. If you made it all the way through this video, comment I like bananas, and I will know that you made it, and it would be kind of our little secret. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe. I will be leaving my fantasy predictions up next. They will be coming out probably in an hour or so, and then my normal predictions for the day. So anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, like I said, leave a like. I will see you guys later.